Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan, he's a Corgi. This is an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And today I want to talk about something that many dog owners are well aware of, but certainly dog research is not heading in this direction, which is, do our dogs have friends? Of course they do. And they recognize friends they haven't seen in months. Yesterday, Tristan got to see his dachshund buddies, one of whom he's not especially buddies with, but they've worked out a rapport. And the other one he just loves. And we met in a park and we were dawdling along, doing our, dumping our little poo bag in the trash. And I could see the dachshunds running down the hill. And Tristan's short, he can't see as far as I can in that level. So as they got closer and he turned and saw them, when his eyes just lit up when he saw the one that he really loves, and so did that dachshund's eyes, and they just raced towards each other and did that thing every dog owner knows, with the circling and circling around, and the leashes are tangled and they're loving each other, and the third one's feeling a little left out, probably one reason he's snarky, but they had a greeting. And as has happened with that dachshund and Tristan had a very bad start. He tried to eat my little baby Corgi. So now Tristan has the upper hand. So as usual, when they meet, that other dachshund does a little and Tristan does a little bark, and then they're all okay. And the three of them just had such a good time, and they haven't seen each other since July. So what is that? July, August, September, October, like 5 months ago. And people think animals aren't that smart and they don't have good memories, but Tristan knows his friends, and he was delighted to spend time with that dachshund he loves. And he has other friends too. I have to be careful. His girlfriend Coco up the street, the little terrier, oh my gosh, he loves her. He has a special bark for her that I have now learned to recognize. I think my friend Pam, hi Pam, who thinks that all Corgis bark way too much and they all sound the same, loud. I don't know that she would discern that my Corgi has a special bark for Coco, but I can tell his Coco bark. I know. Look at him. He's like, where is she? He loves her, and they love walking together, and they get in all kinds of trouble. Coco's always rolling in stinkies and trying to get Tristan to join her, and then she's always finding things that smell really good. And being a terrier, you really can't pull her away when she's smelling something delicious. And then Tristan stops, and we have to wait until the dogs are done their smelling. But they love each other, and he's so happy to see her. And sometimes when her mom's not home and she's sitting in the window, it's a ranch house, so I can walk up and let them see each other through the window, and you can see Coco's little terrier tail wagging, and Tristan's all wiggly and excited. And then once their greeting is over after 1 minute, they're like, okay, we're together. And they really live in the moment. Watching animals with another animal they love is so interesting. And I've seen this even with my rabbits and my dogs. And Tristan's got another dog buddy up the road named Gus, who is a lab mix, big yellow, leggy, rambunctious dog. And boy, when that dog was a puppy, he was slightly timid, thank God. And Tristan barked him up. And he still kind of scares Gus with his barking, even though Gus probably weighs 50 pounds now, and Tristan's at like 19. Maybe in his winter weight, he might be 20. So it's really amazing. And even when I go by Gus's house, we haven't seen Gus in a while because his mom's now a full-time college student. She's really busy. So when we walk by, he still has to smell all the places where Gus goes, and then he smells where his balls are because he's always got balls laying around the yard. And he gets really excited. He speeds up when we go to that house, and as we come down the hill, he slows down because he wants to spend more time visiting Gus's yard, even if he can't see Gus. And it's just so interesting. Gus has two other friends that are golden retrievers that are older. Tristan does not like them, but he loves Gus. So he will interact and play with that group, but not for very long because he just doesn't love those other dogs as much. So it's really true that our dogs have special friends, and in a great world, their special friend is the other dog or cat they get to live with, and that's a happy day for the pet owners, of course. But Tristan, and he was great friends with Comet, and he's good friends with some of my sister's Cavaliers in particular. There's certain ones he really likes, and other ones he's just okay with. He loves my mom's Schnauzer. Like, my mom's Schnauzer was like an amusement park ride for him when he was a baby. And I brought him home, and that was the first dog he knew that wasn't a Corgi. And he just laid upside down and got a hold of those Schnauzer leg fluffs. And the Schnauzers are sort of related to boxers, so they like to paw. And Tristan just thought that was the best thing ever. And he still loves that Schnauzer, even though she's now 14. They still have a little romp together. And certainly when we were down in New Jersey a few weeks ago and the Cavaliers were trying to eat the chickens, Tristan and the Schnauzer were in the middle of the yard going, what is wrong with these other dogs? Like, why are they chasing the chickens? I don't think we were told to do that yet. So they still have a rapport. And it's just so interesting that how can anyone who has ever loved or had a dog or been near dogs thought that they don't have friends? It's shocking to me, and I'm so excited that we're now in an age where people recognize emotions in animals, and in lots of countries, Japan and Austria and places like that in particular, they're studying animal emotions, and we're getting lots of new information about how animals feel. And certainly I love Carl Safina's book, and if you haven't checked that out, look it up. I can't remember what it's called now. The subtitle is What Animals Think and Feel, and it has elephants on the cover, and it's Safina, S-A-F-I-N-A. And it's just a wonderful book looking at the emotions of wild animals. And even last night, Tristan and I were watching one of those national, well, it wasn't, it was a nature program about leopards. And, you know, I'm allergic to cats. I'm not really a cat person. I like cats. I love my cat clients, but I don't think I could live with a cat. So we're watching these beautiful cheetahs on TV, and it was a story of a cheetah mom raising what was 3 cubs, and when we joined it was only 2 cubs, throughout a year and a half of their lives to teach them how to hunt. And gosh, I just can't even watch those poor impalas trying to save their lives and run from the cheetahs. And yet I'm sorry for the cheetahs being hungry. I have a hard time with animal hunting, and I know from being with horses and cattle that herd animals have close ties to other ones in the group. And it's just really hard to believe that that impala is just going to die like that. And they don't die right away. It's pretty awful, really, especially when the cheetahs were young and not so good at hunting. And in fact, one of the impalas that they caught just got up and ran away. And I was sort of relieved. And, you know, the thing is squeaking. Oh, it's terrible. I'm a vegetarian for a lot of good reasons. And, you know, certainly dogs are hunters too, or we wouldn't have them, right? So, but the ties in the family groups are pretty strong. And you could see that those 2 sister cheetahs who grew up together were going to be friends a long time, even when they went off on their own. And at the end of the show, the guy was then doing a show about wild dogs. Can't wait to see that one. It might be on Nature next week. Anyway, he went back to where the cheetahs were, and one of the cheetah cubs who he had sort of played with when mom was away, he saw her and he just sat quietly in the bush, and she saw him and kind of checked him out, and he was kind of heartbroken that she didn't seem to recognize him. And then she turned and saw him and came trotting over and licked his face. And I don't know if I could sit still for that, but if I'd lived with them for a year, maybe. And he was just so touched, even talking about it, and the afterwards of it, he was crying because this cheetah recognized him, knew that he was a friend, and came up to him and, you know, had that remembrance. So animals have deep and amazing emotions, and we just need to recognize that. And certainly seeing friendships in our dogs is one of the ways that it's easy to recognize their emotions. Hi, Joyce. And certainly with cats too. I have lots of cat clients that have bunches of kitties in their houses, and some of them are special friends to each other. You just like to be up on that chair arm, don't you? And some of them are not so friendly with other ones. I mean, all animals have friends and other ones they don't like so much, just like people. And it's great, you know, when I go to events, like Tristan goes to the T-Touch class once a year down in Maryland, and if he's lucky, he gets to see his friend Luna, my friend Pam's dog. He loves Luna. She's like a leggy, pumpkin-colored, little houndy type dog, and he just loves her. But Pam's other dog, who usually when she brings Luna, she also brings, that dog is not very good with other dogs, and Pam thinks there's a whole number of reasons why that's happened. So Tristan and Luna can't really play too much because we have to stay away from Olive, and we don't want to get anybody running around and upsetting Olive because she is hard to control when she's got a lot of issues going on. So anyway, just recognize that your dog has friends and certain dogs that he likes more than others. I've always brought my Corgis to meet the new baby when I get a new puppy. And I can't say that they immediately had love at first sight. I think Winston looked at Comet and had that feeling of like a new nanny when you go into the household with 3 boys under the age of 5, like, oh, this is going to be a lot of work, but okay, he seems good enough. And when I brought Comet to get Tristan, Comet was just so friendly and outgoing with everybody. He just wanted to play with Tristan's mom and dads and the other puppies, and he didn't seem to have any problem with Tristan at all. And he was a big Corgi, and he was very confident, and Tristan was just a sad little peanut, weren't you? When I took you away from your family, you were a little scared, huh? But he quickly, thanks to Comet, learned the ropes and learned how to enjoy himself playing with the many stuffed Corgis in my house that were within baby Corgi reach. Right, Tris? And hopefully he will welcome a new baby Corgi into our house when it's time to do that. He's 8 now. I might wait till he's 10 to get another puppy. But this is always a tricky time in pet owners' lives when you have to get a new one. And you've got the old ones. I know my friend who had a husky who was, I don't know, she was always fine with my dogs, but she was kind of a rough player. And my friend was really afraid if she got a husky puppy that her husky might not adjust well. So she got Chihuahuas, which were barky and feisty, and that husky just thought they were her toys. And she always thinks that her husky lived an extra couple of years because she was given this gift of little Chihuahuas to play with in her later years. And she did live to be like 16 or 17. She lived a long time. And my friend, of course, to her credit, has always fed her dogs very well. My dad's 2 bird dogs got hit by a car, and his dog friend cried on the grave for a week. Oh my God, that's so sad. Oh, yeah, it's true. When animals die, they are so devastated by the loss of their friends. And let's hope our neighbor Coco doesn't move away. And I've seen my own dogs, when both of them have died, my prior Corgis, I have definitely let the current Corgi stay around the body for a couple of days. I mean, I just let them see them, and then they really recognize that they're gone, but it doesn't mean they don't miss them. And I see Tristan every once in a while. I have one of Comet's beds upstairs near Tristan's bed. I see him go over there and sniff around, and where Comet used to lay in the kitchen, he checks it out, and he sometimes will get one of Comet's old toys and just lay his head on it. And I know he misses Comet. Comet was his big brother after all. And certainly animals mourn the loss of another animal. I have seen horses just desolate, either when they've been moved away from a buddy or when a buddy dies. And it's just so profound to be with an animal in their grieving process. So yeah, Joyce, I'm sorry for that poor bird dog. I hope he got a new friend so that he could get over that loss. It's so painful for us. I know we've had a lot of Corgis on the Corgi Facebook pages across the Rainbow Bridge lately, and we're seeing a lot of other dogs. I know it's sad, isn't it, Tristan? The Corgis, we want to see them and pet them. So it's, and a lot of the people have another dog, and some of them have been posting comments from the second dog's point of view, like, you know, this is how my mom's doing, and I miss my sister, and you know, just, it's, the grief is just unbelievable, and our animals definitely feel our grief over the loss of another animal, and it's just so sad. So today we're going to think about friends, though. Think about the friends that your animal has. Kitties, bunnies, dogs, horses. Lots of animals have friends, and they get very attached to them, and we need to recognize that. I try to schedule play dates for Tristan with his buddies periodically, because I want him to be able to have a good time with his friends. Just like I need to see my friends, and they are so happy to see each other. I mean, it's joyful for me and the other dog's owners to see our pets reunited. So certainly at Christmas and Thanksgiving, you'll get to see your Schnauzer and a lot of Cavaliers. So thanks for joining us today. I have to see a very sick horse this afternoon with anaplasmosis. Quite a few horses in my area are coming down with that, with really high fevers and just listlessness and not feeling well. one of my human clients told me that she used to have anaplasmosis a couple of years ago, and unlike Lyme, you can actually get it cured. But she was really sick. And I know my dog, this guy, has had anaplasmosis a couple of times. And initially, this thinking was, oh, that's no big deal. We don't even need to treat it. They get over it. But after seeing these horses, they were so sick. The fever, and I mean, it just must be awful. So thank God I can help this horse this afternoon. And the other one that I met yesterday who has anaplasmosis is coming along further in the recovery process and doesn't have high fevers anymore. Actually, now her temperature's a little low. So, you know, when you're sick, your whole body is not in homeostasis. And that's the ideal steady state where everything's working together. So hopefully they'll recover just fine. But tick illness is really a problem. And Tristan had like 15 ticks on him last week, all at once. Hopefully none of them made you sick, honey. All right, so take some time today and let your dog spend some time with his buddies, whether they're in your house or up the road or nearby. I wish Tristan could call some of his friends, but he's not excited about hearing them on the phone. So we'll see you tomorrow, either later in the day from the Equine Affair or a quick one in the morning. I'd love to do a live with my friend Wendy from the Equine Affair, so maybe we'll do both. I won't see her till 5. What do you think, Biss? Everybody stay warm. It's a cold day here in the Northeast. I had to break out the turtleneck sweaters and cashmere socks. Well, it is close to winter, so I guess that's about time to do that, but it was an adjustment. Everybody have a great day.